Hey guys, welcome in for a Friday night draft here on Breaking Boards. My name is Randy. We're going to jump into the flagship contest over on Draftkings. So if you guys want to hop in and draft alongside me, feel free to do so. And we're going to go ahead and hop over and draft this 20-person team here. So let's get into the lobby and let's get this thing going. Checking location. Awesome. Appreciate that. Draftkings, as always, 3 of 12, another long wait. So how's everybody's week been going? If anybody, hops in here, please feel free to chat. Kind of tough to carry these streams solo, as I'm sure some of you content creators are aware of already. But excited for tonight's draft. Long day at work today. So as I'm sure it was for most of you watching the stream. So yeah, you guys let me know how this week has gone for you guys. Had a medical incident a couple of weeks ago that finally trying to get over, and excited for some football. Definitely ready for some football, and coming up on a few weeks away. I know every time that we get to Sunday now, Scott Hansen is tweeting out how many Sundays we are away from the start of NFL season, and I know that most of you guys are excited. And if you're tuning in this early to a best ball draft on a Friday night, you're probably really excited for football. See, hop back over here. Let's see how many people we got in this room now. Hit the refresh here. Go through a few prompts. 5 out of 12. We could do better than that, guys. Come on. Anything crazy going on with you guys in these DraftKings streets? I've seen some crazy stuff. Recently, I was in a draft where I got Amara at the 110, and then followed up in that same draft with Diggs in the 5th round. So, you never really know what you're going to find over on DK. Underdog, a lot more draft via ADP as compared to DraftKings, but DraftKings can be a little bit all over the place. Hope that we get this thing going soon. Like I said, it's tough to carry this thing with no one watching live, as this is a new channel, and with the draft not feeling. Let's talk through round one while we sit here and wait. For me, I think this year I would rather have one of either the first 3 picks in the draft, or I want 10, 11, 12. And the reason I say that is I think there's a teardrop from picks 1, 2, and 3. I think the CMC, CD Lamb, Tyreek Hill are definitely the 1, 2, 3. And then a bit of a page break, if you will, before you get to the 4 and Jamar Chase. And then I think it falls off again, not significantly, but in round 1, every drop is kind of significant in its own way. It drops to Amon-Ra and the Justin Jefferson tier. And then you're looking at running back with Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson after those two guys. And then to me, like the end of round 1, somewhat clear. I think it's a combination of Jahmyr Gibbs, Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, Drake London, AJ Brown, those kind of guys. And then as we work into rounds 2 and 3, not much of a difference for me. I feel like those guys are kind of similar. Like if I get Chris Olave or if I get Malik Neighbors, that entire range, I'm fine either way, I guess you would say. Can't believe this room is taking so long to fill up. I wish there was somebody here to chat it out. So if anybody jumps into this in this room with me here, please let me know you're in here. We did a 4-man stream. I believe it was earlier this week or at the end of last week. It's going to be on the Breaking Boards channel if you guys want to go check that out. Michael, Jason, Adam, and myself knocked out a 20-round draft, and we went back and talked through each of our plays and kind of who we prefer in each round, that kind of thing. So if you're new to Bestball, go check that out and let me know what you guys think. Like I said, new channel, so just trying to kind of work out the kinks. It can be a little tough carrying these streams. So we'll see how this thing goes. And if you are new to Bestball, welcome. It is a fun sport. I know a couple of guys that I'm drafting with on stream are brand new, so kind of wanted to invite them on um, so that you guys could grow alongside them. A little bit about myself if you didn't watch the first video on the channel. Last year was my first year in Bestball. I played DFS for quite some time, but first time in Bestball. I mean, I put in a lineup here and there before, but last year in for about $1,000. Pulled back, I think about 400 on, maybe 450 on Underdog. Another 350 or so on Drafters, and then on DK, I was up 41,000. Finished fourth in a large $44 buy-in over on DK. Um, it takes a little bit of luck, but if you construct your rosters the correct way as well, it definitely doesn't hurt. Finally in 10 out of 12 over here, so we can get this thing going. Trying to get this stream in for you guys. Going to try to stream every Friday if you're interested in watching these kind of streams. I'm going to try to get a video up at least every Friday for you guys with the NBA Finals, potentially the last game tonight. Trying to get this stream in if this league will ever fill before the game starts. From the way that series has looked so far, I don't think Luka and Kyrie can play well enough to overcome the wings of Boston. um, Derek White's a great defender. Drew's a great defender. It looks like we finally filled up here. All right, one of the top 6 picks. I'm pretty much guaranteed one of the top wide receivers. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit here. I think maybe that would help you guys see the screen a little better. If you guys are on, just let me know if that helped out. But yeah, I think Derek White, good defender. Drew's a good defender, and I think they can kind of play alongside or with. Obviously, not on the level of Luka and Kyrie, but they can definitely cause them trouble. And when you add Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum into that mix, whereas on the Dallas side, you're talking about guys like PJ Washington, who's not terrible, but he's no Jaylen Brown, he's no Jason Tatum. And then you add like a Derrick Jones, like it's not even close. In my opinion, I think Dallas should try to go 2 bigs and play an old school kind of basketball, play inside out at this point to try to get still a game here and see if they can't claw back into this thing. Right now it feels like a mountain. You get it back to 3-1, 3-2. Maybe we're talking about something, but almost impossible to take 4 games in a row from a team like Boston. So it looks like this thing is going to start in about 30 seconds here. So you guys can finally hear me stop talking about things that don't matter pertaining to this draft. But again, I'd be glad to have anybody join me here. And hopefully we can turn this $20 into 1.5 million. I don't know what the taxes are going to look like on 1.5 million, but I'll be glad to figure that out at the end of the year. Less than 10 seconds here. And let's see who comes off the board first. And my guess is CMC or CD Lamb. It always is. Gonna get an auto first pick, huh? Wait the entire 30 seconds for a CMC. Not the worst play. I don't know that I recognize any of these names over on DK, so maybe this is a soft room. I guess we'll find out as we go along. CMC gets auto picked round 1, pick 1. I'm assuming CD. Yeah, Tyreek Hill probably here. Potentially another auto. I don't know why my logo hasn't changed. I changed my logo months ago on DK, and on the app it shows, but on the computer not so much. Tyreek Hill goes there. I'm assuming Jamar Chase. Pretty standard room so far. I think at 5 or 5 and 6, I really could care less. Amon Ra or Justin Jefferson, whoever 5 doesn't take, will take at 6 for sure. But guaranteed either Jamar, Amon Ra, or Justin Jefferson. We've had a lot of auto picks to start the. Amon Ra goes 4. Okay, and there goes Jamar, and we'll take Justin Jefferson at the 6. Not in love with the JJ McCarthy quarterback situation, but we'll make it work. And then Sam Darnold's getting the number 1 reps right now, so who knows? I guess that could go one way or the other. Brees Hall off the board at 7 and 8, as we talked about before the live stream started here. I'm assuming this is probably Puka or AJ Brown. Probably both back to back. And then the 11, 12, 13, 14 can kind of get, it's almost like a mix and match depending on your portfolio of teams. I'm assuming he goes Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay. Probably does it here. Drake London. Okay. Well, this guy's going to get Gary Wilson and Marvin Harrison at the 11. Not bad. Flip back over to the player page here. I don't really love this range at all in this draft. Like round 2 to me this year is so nasty. I don't have a good read on who I would want to go with or anything. Like it's not a fun range to be in. Does he go Jonathan Taylor here? See, Nico went off the board. Who does Minnesota play week 17? Does anybody know off the top of their head? Let's see. Minnesota plays Green Bay, so nothing pressing there. All right, so we're going to go Jonathan Taylor. Not my favorite pick for PPR, but I think a very solid pick. I know that we want to go primarily wide receiver early, but I think some of these running backs are getting overlooked this year. So we're going to lock up Jonathan Taylor here at the pick 19. And then Taylor plays the Giants in week 17. Something to keep in mind for later. Keep an eye on that and kind of see where we're at later on in the draft. And let's see. Anything crazy so far that you guys see? I don't really see a lot of anything too wild. I mean, Amon-Ra and Jalen Waddle, not bad. Olave, Chase, fine. Jefferson Taylor, don't love it, don't hate it. It's just kind of whatever for the pick. Brees Hall, Ayuk, same thing. Robinson, Collins, same. Saquon and Puka, same deal. It's like there might be a little bit of a run on running backs right now. We'll flip back over to. Don't love what that guy did at the 1 there. We're going to flip back over to the player page. I think that kind of given our start, I know what I want to do at pick 30, but I don't know if we're going to get that at pick 30. So we shall see. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted Cooper Kupp at 30, so not going to get that. I prefer not to go tight end since we went off the board with Taylor. There goes Laporta. Thinking he probably takes Kelsey or Smith. Maybe Kelsey, since he has wide receiver start. Yep. I like Devonta Smith, but I think the only way that he truly goes off of it is if AJ Brown goes down. And same thing with Diggs. Like, there's just too many mouths to feed in that offense right now. So we're going to go Malik Neighbors at pick 30. I'm a lot higher on him than I think consensus, and his player profiler comp is Jamar Chase. So if you're telling me I can get a player similar to Jamar Chase in round 3, I'm going to take that every time. So start through 3: Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, and Malik Neighbors. Excuse me. So Brees Hall, Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, that's fine. Bijan Robinson, Nico Collins, Devonta Smith, fine. You really don't know a lot about a player unless they make a wild reach early, or they take 3 running backs or something like that. You really can't parse out a lot early in the draft. It takes a minute to kind of work into where these guys are going. I know when I think about my quarterbacks right now, not in love with the JJ McCarthy, Danny Dimes possibilities later in the draft. And we will scroll this page down and let you guys kind of check out what's going on here as we move into round 4. I'll leave round 3 up so you guys can see. Pacheco. Who did he have Pacheco to? With Gibbs already? I'm not sure. Yeah, somebody's going to have to explain that one to me. 2 running backs, and then you take a quarterback with a non-pass catching running back. I'm confused about that one. Scroll down so you guys can see the team. Jefferson, Neighbors, and Jonathan Taylor currently. And then if you look at the screen on the left, you can kind of see my personal ranks. And then we'll kind of flip back and forth through ADP just to see where we're at as well. Not a lot that I love at the top of this board. Again, this range is just kind of whatever. I don't understand how CJ Stroud goes before. Was he stacked? Diggs only. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why? I don't understand how CJ Stroud goes before Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Same thing with Mahomes, really. I mean, Mahomes is great, but I think if Josh Allen stays on the board here, we're going to go Josh Allen. Hate to get off the rails twice early, but 10 picks of ADP on Josh Allen it's a lot. And Josh Allen's still here. So we're going to go Josh Allen as the 5th QB off the board. Is that correct? That is insane. QB1 upside and has been QB1 at QB5. We'll take that every time, and we'll figure out stacking possibilities later. Let's see, who does Buffalo play in week 17? I don't have this stuff memorized as I have a full-time job outside of this, but so we're looking at the Jets in week 17 for Buffalo. They also play Detroit in 15 and New England in week 16. Trying to keep my voice up here. It's my job. I talk all day long, so trying to keep a stream going solo can be challenging when you've talked all day long. Your voice tends to muffle up and fall out, if you will, during the draft. I did just notice that my account is down to 669. And no, that is not from the 40K. We removed a lot of that, and the 669 is, while a nice number, it's not what's remaining of the 40K. Let's see. Let's scroll down here so you guys can get a good look at this. Round 3 and round 4 right now. Amari Cooper. Does that guy go all? No, he's got A-chain. I thought he went all wide receiver early. It's like pick 11 is the only guy who's gone full wide receiver. Josh Jacobs to the guy who's picking second. Number one pick takes George Pickens. Let's see. We're up in 5 picks. So we're going to flip back over to the player page and kind of start working out. I mean, obviously, I think it's kind of obvious who we want here. Another fade away from wide receiver, which, well, never mind. There he went. So that tells me what I want to do late in the draft. That one pick kind of determined where we're going to go at tight end. I think, you know, for those of you who played last year, right? The Mark Andrews injury really indicated that Isaiah likely was going to be a great choice. Like it was going to be very unlikely that he was going to fail. And Isaiah likely played really well. Um, I think that pick could very easily be Dawson Knox this year. Not a lot of competition in that Buffalo offense. Let's wait and we'll continue that thought process here in a second after our next pick here coming up in one pick. I'm fine with either Kirk, Hollywood, or Keenan Allen. It's just kind of whoever's left at this point. There goes Kirk. So unsure if we want Keenan Allen and bye week 7. I think since Jefferson has a bye week of 6, although I think Brown could have some spike weeks. We're going to go Hollywood. I know that gives us 2 weeks, 2 week 6 buys at wide receiver, but to get back to the Dawson Knox thought process, I think it's a similar situation, right? Baltimore last year, not any wide receivers that jumped off the page. I mean, I know you have Zay Flowers, but outside of Flowers, no real clear wide receiver threats. And I think that was evident whenever Likely got on the field because they started to feed Likely with targets. And I think, this year, God forbid that Kincaid goes down with injury. Dawson Knox is around 20 pick. Not too dissimilar to Likely last year, very late round pick. And someone that at a position that's, one of the one-off positions, quarterback, tight end, that you can take to, if things break correctly for you, can make a large difference on your team. And there finally goes Keenan Allen. We're going to flip back over as we pick in 4 picks. Some point here we have to go running back outside of Taylor, but I think we need to go receiver again. You want 4 to 6 through 10 rounds. And as we're in round 6 now, I think we want to go another receiver. I think based on what's the note on? So he finally signed his contract. I think we go Coleman for the stack here if he's still left. I prefer Ridley overall, obviously through my ranks, but yeah, I think we go Coleman for the stacking purposes, and it's not too crazy, and we're still getting above ADP on him. So we're going to go Coleman, and I assume the next pick will be Calvin Ridley. Flip over to the draft board here so you guys can follow along. Anything crazy on the board so far that you guys have noticed? Mahomes guy finally got Worthy. Stroud with Diggs, Devonta with Jalen, Mark Andrews and Jackson. Ridley did go with the next pick. I have Allen with Coleman. So nobody's getting ridiculous, I guess you'd say. Three running backs. This guy, not this pick, but the next pick has to go receiver, I would imagine. CD, Kyron, Debo, Jacobs, James Cook. It feels like a wide receiver pick. And then the 11 slot, Wilson, Harrison, Metcalf, Flowers, McLaurin, Keenan Allen. Going straight wide receivers. So the two slot went with Kenneth Walker. I get the ADP, but at some point you're just going to box yourself out of wide receivers. And then Aaron Jones goes off the board. Like I said, apologize for all the coughing and stuff, guys. I've been talking all day long, so it's tough to keep this talking going, but I'm going to do the best I can. I love drafting. Best ball is probably my favorite way to play now. Not really big on the grind of DFS anymore. Go back over to the player page as we're up in a few picks. I think of this group, prefer one of Roma Dunze or Rashay Rice. I know Rice obviously has done a bunch of stupid stuff off the field this offseason, but I'm hearing that he might only get somewhere between 2 and 4 games. If that's the case, I think that if he got 2, he'd be around 4 or 5 pick. And if he gets 4, he's probably going around 6, somewhere in that range. So don't mind Rashay Rice. Roma Dunze's player comp is actually Justin Jefferson. I think Dunze should be a Falcon. I think they screwed that up quite terribly with maybe the worst pick in sports history at Michael Penix. I think even if Penix starts at some point and makes a Pro Bowl, it's still a terrible pick. Just from an organizational standpoint, they weren't a young quarterback away. So we're guaranteed a Dunze or Shea Rice now. Also could go Jordan Addison and go the double Minnesota stack. But since we have Allen now at quarterback, I think that's kind of a risk. I think we just go with the offense that's going to score the most points. Even though, again, I have Addison and Adunze ranked very close. I think we're going to go Rashay Rice because I do think Kansas City is going to focus more on the passing offense this year. Don't mind any of those picks, really, though. There goes Adunze. Don't blame that guy one bit, or lady, whatever. Ball Buster. Awesome name. Don't mind that pick at all. Adunze, I assume this will be. It was not Edison. Okay. Kyler Murray Richardson. I understand the single stacks with two of your top guys, but double quarterback early is not going to be the way I play things. Because you want to play this game like you're betting on things that you're confident in, right? You want to play like every one of your picks is pocket aces. So if you're telling me you've got pocket aces with Anthony Richardson, I don't want simultaneous pocket aces and pocket kings. If you're going to give me aces, I'll just take the aces. So if Anthony Richardson's my aces, I don't want a secondary quarterback that close, right? Give me aces at another position. I'm going to flip back over to the player page. Really depends here. I think I know where I want to go depending on who comes off the board. Don't mind taking another receiver here if that's what it comes to. Probably prefer Deontay. I think he's going to get peppered with targets in Carolina. Never mind. There he goes. I assume this guy probably goes. He does not go Brian Thomas. He goes JMO. What are we looking at bye week wise at wide receiver? Neighbors, Brown, Jefferson, Rashay Rice, and Coleman. I think we're going to go Brian Thomas. I think he has some upside in Jacksonville. Let's pull up the draft board here so you guys can see, and then we'll go over and look at. I can't remember off the top of my head who Brian Thomas player comp was on Profiler. Brian Thomas player comp. Oh my goodness, that's scary. That's really scary. I did not realize that's who it was. Now, obviously, it's not an end all be all, but Christian Watson. And I think we've all who have played best ball in the past have been down that road of Christian Watson. So through 8 rounds, we have Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Allen, Hollywood Brown, Keon Coleman, Rasheed Rice, Brian Thomas. Another reason when we went Thomas there is because I want a running back. I want another running back. However, I'm huge on Pittsburgh, given the Arthur Smith, given that Tomlin likes to run the ball anyways, and they're both still on the board currently. So I don't really care which Pittsburgh running back I get if I can get one at the 102 because I value them about the same. And in PPR, I may even want and value Warren more than Najee. But we'll see if either fall back to me at the 102. Who are we looking at ADP wise? So, they're the top ADP guy. Okay. So they might not fall back. Which, if that's the case, we'll pivot. But I prefer that one of Najee or Jalen fall back, but Najee's already come off the board. Don't think that Warren will last 3 more picks, but we'll see. I don't want to have to take Jonathan Brooks. That, like him as a player long term, those knee injuries scare me. And maybe he's back late in the season or something like that, but I don't like playing that way. It looks like this guy's going to auto Jalen. Tony Pollard. Just got to fade one more pick, guys. Can we have Jalen fall one more pick? He does not. Awesome. Excellent. I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet and hope Jonathan Brooks is healthy at the end of the season. Don't love that pick at all. Last resort in that little range right there. Probably could have gone Curtis Samuel for the Buffalo stack, but already wide receiver heavy with 6 through the first 9 rounds. So looking back, I probably would have faded one of these receivers. Probably would have faded Brian Thomas, taken Najee Harris, faded Jonathan Brooks, would have taken Curtis Samuel. Now that I think back through it. But that's kind of drafting, right? That's kind of the sometimes when you get in these rooms and things move fast, it's easy to look back over a draft or two and realize the mistakes you've made, but that's something you want to be doing as you move your way throughout draft season. You want to be going back, looking over drafts. What would I have done differently? What am I going to do the next time that I get that pick? And looking for those opportunities that I just squandered not long ago. Flipping back over to the player page, what's the note on Khalil Shakir? So Thursday's minicamp practice, he expects to be 100% healthy. That tells me absolutely nothing. Why are you not 100% healthy right now? Hmm. Okay. Well, um, third guy up per my rankings. I think he's second in ADP. Fifth the stack. So we're just gonna go. Don't love the play. Don't love the player. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. We got the Josh Allen stack working, and that's what we're gonna bet as though Josh Allen is aces, and we're gonna take every other ace that we can get. We're gonna assume that Josh Allen's pocket aces, and that Keon Cole's an ace, and that Khalil Shakir is an ace. Um, and then later on in the draft, at our tight end position that we haven't filled yet, we're gonna bet on another Buffalo ace, and we're gonna hope that that is the case in Buffalo. So through, is it 10 rounds? So through 10 rounds, flip over to the draft board. Maybe you guys can see it easier. Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Allen, Marquise Brown, Keon Coleman, Rasheed Rice, Brian Thomas, Jonathan Brooks, Khalil Shakir. 10 rounds to go. Gonna have to start picking up the pace on running back, tight end, and later on in the draft, we'll pick up a quarterback. Let's see. Anything crazy jumping off the board at you guys? I don't love the Pacheco, Patrick Mahomes worthy. I know it's different and this is a large contest, but logically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're coming back up in a few picks here, so we're going to flip back over to the player page. Love the top of this draft here. Need running backs, and it's running back heavy. That's where you want to be at this point in the draft. Number one pick for me is probably going to be Blake Corum. Sean McVay is talking really high of him right now. I definitely think that's something that I think Sean McVay is one of those coaches that when he truly believes in somebody, he'll play them. I hope the top of this board stays exactly the way it is right now. There goes Blake Corum. Awesome. I think this guy just gets no respect. And we're going to go Brian Robinson. Solid player. You know, what do you average? 12 points, 13 points a game last year? 13.5. I mean, as a running back 3, I'll take that. And going back over to the draft board, like I said, I think that the Thomas pick, I probably would have, looking back, I would have taken Najee. And the Jonathan Brooks pick, I would have taken Curtis Samuel, giving the draft, starting over. Josh Allen at the 4-7 was a steal. I think the rest of the draft is just kind of, yeah, it just is what it is, and it's fine. Condre Miller, I'm starting to get higher on him in the field. I've done quite a few drafts, especially on drafters. Try to max out drafters early because their ADP tends to be, let's just say, slow to adjust. So I think you can take advantage. If you're going to draft early in the draft season, I think drafters is the way to go. I want most of my bullets. I think I draft mine drafters first, Draftkings, underdog. Because on underdog, it's already sharp. I want the most amount of information as I can get. So I won't really start drafting on underdog until August, late July. Let's flip back over to the player page. Hopefully it's running back heavy, which it is not, and it just shrunk even farther because I wanted Jerome Ford. I think that we're going to go Zach Charbonnet. I think we're going to go Charbonnet. He can have a great season. If Kenneth Walker goes down, another one of those we bet as though we have aces. If Kenneth Walker goes down, Charbonnet becomes an ace. And he's probably an 8 or a 9 for those of you who like poker. Even with Walker healthy, like he's going to have some weeks where he puts up 8, 9, 10 fantasy points with Walker on the field. And if Walker goes down, probably a 15, 16, 18 fantasy point guy without Walker. Nice pick. Nice pick. I was going to go Taysom next pick. I'm way higher on the field than Taysom, and I have been all offseason. I've been getting him sometimes in the 190s earlier in the offseason. So I was kind of hoping he would hold steady. But, I cannot hate on that guy for taking him at the 12-9. Don't love the Dalton Schultz, TJ Hawkinson pairing. Schultz, way too much target competition, and Hawkinson, even if he gets on the field, he's not going to be TJ Hawkinson. He's going to be a shell of TJ Hawkinson. Actually, TJ Hawkinson may be a Dalton Schultz if he gets back on the field currently. Jahan Dotson, don't, blah. Gabe Davis, blah. We're going to flip back over here. I know exactly where I want to go. The question is, does the player make it? Made it so far. Aaron Rodgers was not the play. There's actually 2 plays on the board that I want currently. Both survive another pick. And both survive. So I'm guaranteed one of the 2. Could go Ray Davis. But I think that I prefer the other 2 guys ahead of him. Josh Downs is not a bad pick here either. But I think I'm going to go Ty Chandler. I think we just need the running back help in the running back room. And another one of those, if Aaron Jones goes down, we know Chandler is an ace. He showed it last year. So through 12, Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Allen, Marquise Brown, Keon Coleman, Rashae Rice, Brian Thomas, Jonathan Brooks, Khalil Shakir, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, and Ty Chandler. And we have 2, 4, 6, 7 picks left. So the next 7 picks, we need to parse out at least 2, maybe 3 tight ends, add another receiver, add a quarterback, which I have an idea on what I want to do with the quarterback situation. Coming back up in looks like 7 picks here? 6 picks. Ray Davis, if he sticks around, is probably the move. Don't mind Bucky Irving or however you say it. Don't mind him either. I think he'll be a decent play. So Davis doesn't make it back around. I think Chuba Hubbard could be sleeper as well, but I don't want him paired with Jonathan Brooks because, again, we want to bet as though we're correct. And if I'm betting that Jonathan Brooks is the running back, I don't want to have a secondary bet that Chuba Hubbard is taking the field. getting later in the draft here and trying to figure out um, stacks and things of that nature can be difficult. Man, I really want to go Chuba, but like I said, we have to draft as though we're correct. And if that's the case, how many running backs do we have? 4 or 5? We have 5. We're going to go ahead and add potentially our last running back. And I think this guy, again, betting like we have aces. Um, I think if he gets on the field and can show what he can do, I think he might take some of the food out of the mouth, so to speak, of Rashad White. So we have a 1-6-7 build through 14. Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Allen, Hollywood Brown, Keon Coleman, Rashee Rice, Brian Thomas, Jonathan Brooks, Khalil Shakir, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Tyson Chandler, Bucky Irvin. Do not love it. Do not hate it. It's just kind of one of those teams that you throw it in the portfolio and you see how it comes out in the wash. I think that, roster construction wise, it's fine so far. We're a little short at tight end, and I think that, especially on PPR, going hero tight end might be the play this year, just given how late in the draft hero tight ends are going. So would have much rather added a tight end early. I don't know, if Laporta or Kelsey fall, maybe we go there instead of Neighbors at the 3-6, or if McBride falls, we go him at the 4-7. But all hindsight type stuff. We do have a plan at tight end later in the draft, as I've said, which I'm sure you guys figured out who it was by now. So, and we'll do a quick review at the end of the draft over each team and kind of give our thoughts and that kind of thing. So, let's see, up in what, 6, 5? It's hard to see once you get to the bottom of the draft board when you're on the clock. It's 2, 4, 6. We still need quite a bit of tight end help. We need another quarterback, and we need another wide receiver. So wide receiver, quarterback, that's 2, maybe a third, potentially. Yeah. I think we're going to go 2 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, wide receiver. I know which wide receiver we want, and it's going to be Malachi Corley to correlate with the Buffalo Week 17. And I think that's going to be a different stack. I mean, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Dawson Knox, Malachi Corley is probably not anybody's go-to. So looking at the board right now, we're probably going to go backup quarterback next, and then start feeding the tight end position strong at the end of the draft. So we'll throw up a couple of quarterbacks here. Hopefully one of those guys falls. Back up in 6 picks. I don't know where we're talking about ADP wise. So we got, excuse me, we could go Conklin and have our tight end position. I was kind of hoping for May. Drake May's player comp is Josh Allen. So having 2 shots at Josh Allen doesn't sound terrible. I think given how thin quarterback is, we have to go quarterback here. Even though I would like to go Conklin. I don't think we can push on another round on quarterback. We'll try to push Conklin another round. I think JJ plays at the end of the year. We're betting as though we're right on Josh Allen. And if Allen, for some reason, goes down, the team's going to fail anyways. So hopefully McCarthy is kind of a backup type situation for week 17. And then I think they play, is it the Rams? Green Bay. That Minnesota plays in week 17. So that gives us another late tight end option that we can look at as well. So looking at our draft board here, we have a 2-6-8 build so far. We're going to need to add some tight ends too. So 16 picks in, 4 left. Looking at maybe another quarterback if one falls. But primarily we're looking. There goes 2 Jets. That sucks. Looking at tight ends currently. Although maybe not if this plays out the way I'm looking at right now. And who's our... I have an idea there as well. It's not pretty, but it's an idea. I think one of these guys has to go Eli Mitchell, right? That's another one of those. If CMC goes down, I think Eli Mitchell's at least a jack or better in poker terms. Let him fall one more pick. I'll take him. Come on, DeMario Douglas. Off the board, and Eli Mitchell. There we go. And we'll take Danny Dimes. Pair him up with Neighbors and get that little stack going there. We have Allen with Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman. We have McCarthy with Justin Jefferson, Ty Chandler. We have Danny Dimes with Malik Neighbors, and we will be adding an additional Giant. So Giant plays Indy week 17, so that's going to be tough to get anybody from Indy. Don't care for, don't like, don't. But we do have Jonathan Taylor. I forgot about that, so that kind of did work out. So cool. Gotta tag up some. We're going tight end the rest of the way here, guys. So if tight end doesn't do anything for you, I apologize. And we're going to be looking pretty far off the board for a tight end. Like, nobody probably has this player. Tight end. 420 rank? Huh? 420, not bad. Not bad. Good number. Good number. We're just going to draft by our player rankings. Slayton and Hyatt would have been nice. I think had I known earlier that I was going to go the Daniel, I can't believe Dawson Knox just went. We were about to take him early too. Damn it. Our tight end room is going to look very suspect. Dawson Knox was the play for us, and that kind of drowned what I had in mind there. Who's left at tight end? Ew. We're going to go Theo Johnson. Waller retiring, and this guy's an athletic freak, so I hope he is. Dawson Knox was the play. I know that sounds crazy building backwards, but that was that was what we were going for late, and it just didn't work out. So we get our stuff together and we move on to the next pick. Yeah, this draft didn't play out the way I thought it was going to play out. Because to me, I mean, I don't know the rest of these rosters so far, but I'm taking Tank Bigsby by now. I'm taking Darius Slayton. I'm taking Hyatt. I'm taking Roshan Johnson. I'm taking Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Um, I like Rondell Moore, but sometimes it just doesn't break your way, and that's kind of the point of these drafts is you're gonna have those drafts that just everything goes off the board before you expect it, and you're kind of just left holding the bag. I hope that there's a lot of non-tight end plays off the board. I think that I think we're gonna need to get lucky in this one. Which I'll be honest, like my 40,000 team last year, the um, the thing I learned the most is you just want 20 players that are healthy and they're gonna see the field, regardless of talent, regardless of anything else. I think the most important thing is you have 20 players that are active in week 17 that are going to see some type of snap share. I don't think we can pivot away and float two of these bad tight ends. I think we have to take two more tight ends. So we basically handcuffed ourselves. Because right now I would take Tank Bigsby, I would take Elaire, and I don't want to say thrilled, but I would be okay with them as my RB6. So, two drafts in on solo streams, don't love them. But we'll kind of see. Keep drafting in the middle of the draft too, which I don't like. Like, give me one of the first three or the last three. We're gonna go Mike Gesicki and hope that he has a year with Cincinnati. Although I don't like the player, and then we'll just kind of let this thing draft itself out. I'm gonna move Johnny Munt up because, like I said, I don't think TJ Hawkinson has a year, and I don't even know if he plays. And if he doesn't, Johnny Munt, 7, 8 fantasy points a week, maybe. I don't know, something decent like Kraft, but um, some target competition there, and there's a lot of receivers there. So wasn't terrible at the end of last year though. So we're gonna let that play out, and we'll go ahead and start talking about the draft itself. So as we look at the one hole, he has a CMC, Mike Evans, Derrick Henry, Pickens, Kincaid, Aaron Jones, Kittle, Purdy, Harris, Shaheed, Myers, Dotson, Davis, Wilson, Geno, Fields, Russ. I'm never going to be a proponent of taking two quarterbacks on the same team. I think that he got to the end of the draft and he just kind of realized he needed more quarterback help and panicked. So he has Roman Wilson, Najee. Then with Purdy, he has CMC and Kittle, double hero tight end. And then Geno, I think he just took Geno because he knew he needed a quarterback. Next guy, we're going to look at his stacks. So he's got Dak with CMC. Only. He has Baker with no one. Unstacked QB4 Baker. Awesome. Caleb Williams with I think we can pretty much stop looking at this guy's team. He has a bunch of unstacked QBs. Next guy up, Aiden O'Connell, Matt Stafford. So Aiden O'Connell with unstacked Aiden O'Connell. Awesome. He has Stafford, Cup, and he has Burrow. Unstacked. Like maybe I do have a shot at this league, even though I punted fully on tight end. The next guy has Goff and Tua, so a 2 QB build. So he has Goff with David Montgomery and Laporta, and Tua with Waddle. I would go Malik Washington if I was him to finish this draft out. Let's see if he goes Malik Washington. I would 1000% take Malik Washington right now. Alec Pierce, just like we called it. Seeing the end of this draft, maybe I have a chance. Bryce Young with Leggett. Okay. Derek Carr with Chris Olave. And then Trevor Lawrence, the new $275 million man, which makes no sense to me. With Christian Kirk. So my team is going to be Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Allen, Hollywood, Keon Coleman, Rashee Rice, Thomas. Sorry, guys. Thomas, Jonathan Brooks, Khalil Shakir, Brian Robinson, Charbonnet, Ty Chandler, Bucky Irvin, Malachi Corley, JJ McCarthy, Daniel Jones. So we have Jones with Theo Johnson and Malik Neighbors. We have JJ McCarthy with Justin Jefferson and Ty Chandler. And we have Josh Allen with Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. The next guy up took Sam Darnold. I'm assuming, did he take Addison at some point? He did not, but he took Lamar with Mark Andrews. He has Herbert with as many Chargers as you can find, apparently. Chark, Dobbins, Edwards. Don't love the running back situation. Like, why? I don't know. Some of these teams make no sense to me, but it is what it is. Hurts with Devonta Smith and Goddard. Levis with Kongwu. Looks like this guy's got a pretty decent team put together. And Tyler Boyd. So a nice late stack that I like a lot in drafts with Levis. And then Deshaun Watson. I'm assuming Tillman was just the second option that he wanted late. He probably wanted Elijah Moore, but just didn't fall. Did he get? I thought he might have had Amari or somebody like that, but I guess Tillman was his only Cleveland. I bet he was thinking Tillman, Elijah Moore late. Just didn't work out. Next guy was the Anthony Richardson Kyler. So he has Pittman with Richardson, Trey McBride with Kyler, Connor with Kyler, A.D. Mitchell with. So he did all right. Just 2 rushing quarterbacks and hoping that they both don't go down. Also has Dortch with Kyler. The next guy has Marcelo Meyer with Minshew, and then Bo Nix with Javonte Williams, I guess. And then he has Stroud with Diggs only. Don't love it. I'm not even going to count Sam Howell, but sure, if you want to go that route with Noah Fant. Drake May, Kendrick Bourne. Yeah. And then you got Mahomes with Worthy, Pacheco. He also has Jordan Love with Dobbs and Wicks. He has Cousins with Mooney and Rondell Moore. And then he took Penix for some reason. So if I had to come through each team here, the 2 that I see advancing would probably be I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up room. I don't love any build, really. Nothing jumps out and goes, oh, man, I just love what they've done with that team. So we'll see how it plays out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Like I said, there should be one coming at you guys every Friday afternoon or evening, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.